Lately, I've been feeling anxious around this feeling of constantly needing to be connected, to be plugged into the digital world at all times. And if I'm being honest, it's felt exhausting. From the moment I wake up to the moment I close my eyes at night, my phone has become this constant companion keeping me company at all times. I've realized that this addiction, this dependency on social media, was robbing me of something so precious: my freedom. My freedom to be present, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Freedom to truly engage with the world around me, to nurture my relationships, to pursue my passions without this nagging urge to check my phone every 5 minutes. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I used to make the excuse that I needed to be on my phone first thing when I opened my eyes to really wake up my brain. How silly is that? Now, I won't lie, I was nervous to unplug. After all, I've been on social media since 2007 when I first joined Facebook. Back then, it was an innocent way to share photos from my point-and-shoot camera, write on my friends' walls, and share very blurry videos from my cheerleading competitions. I then joined Instagram in 2011, back when you'd share a heavily filtered photo of your food, shoes, or nature and get 7 likes. It was a fun way to share what you like. But somewhere along the years, social media switched. It became a way to share a perfectly styled and curated life, an addiction to the likes and comments, and to be constantly keeping up with what others were doing. It went from being showing your real life to almost faking moments to make them look real. #do it for the gram. And I'm not saying everyone fakes their lives on social media, but I'd say a majority of content is carefully curated. I'd be lying if I said I never set up a shot to look candid when it wasn't. It felt like I was sometimes more worried about what my moment would look like on social media versus what it actually felt like in the moment. I started feeling anxious, uninspired, and guilty for not being as present as I knew I should be. As a new mom, I knew it was time for a change now so I could be the best version of myself for my son and future kids. So I made a decision to take a step back, to reclaim my time, my energy, and my sanity. I embarked on a 30-day digital fast, saying goodbye to the endless scrolling and embracing the beauty of the present moment. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. The first few days were filled with a sense of withdrawal, an itch to reach for my phone, to check for updates, to see what I was missing out on.
A little update on how day 1 is going. I just got back from the dentist and I had a little bit of a wait time in their waiting room before the dental hygienist came and got me, and I noticed myself wanting to look down at my phone and start scrolling on social media. It's just those triggers of boredom that make me realize I rely so much on using my phone to fill that time and to fill that uncomfortable feeling. And so just being aware of it and then being like, nope, put the phone down. You're okay. It's okay to look bored. It's not embarrassing. It's normal. So it's going to be a practice.
And then on the 4th day of my detox, something huge happened. I broke my foot. All of the plans that I had to be active during this detox went away in a second. And there I was, stuck on the couch or wobbling around on crutches. I immediately went into a poor me mentality. Poor me that I couldn't do my house projects anymore. Poor me that I can't go and take walks around the neighborhood for the next few weeks. Poor me that I don't have social media to keep me entertained as I sit on the couch resting. And then it hit me. I took this break to slow down and live in the moment. This was the ultimate test of really slowing down and not depending on social media to keep me entertained or to post about what had happened so people on the internet could interact and tell me to feel better. My parents, who I'm so thankful for, booked a last-minute flight to come out and help me and Ryan with Jackson. They live in New Jersey and we don't get to see them often, so breaking my foot gave us more quality time with them. We played board games, watched movies, and cooked meals together. Jackson got more time with his grandparents that he wouldn't have had otherwise, which is a gift we've been praying for since before he was born. I consider myself a very independent person, with the exception of pumping my own gas, which I blame growing up in New Jersey on. I try not to ask for help or have others do things for me when I know I'm capable of doing it. Even after I had Jackson, I had a hard time asking for assistance with simple things I knew I could do by myself. But with a broken foot, I couldn't do a lot. I used crutches, so I couldn't hold Jack. Getting up and down the stairs was a two-man job, and getting up and grabbing something was nearly impossible. Oh, and it was my right foot, so driving was out of the question. So this little accident taught me a lot. It taught me to ask for help and accept it when offered. It taught me that it really does take a village when raising a child, and it taught me that you're never too old to need your parents. I learned to sit with the discomfort of boredom, to turn it into something beautiful, something creative. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, I used my hands to create, to bake, to read, to write. I read a hard copy of a book instead of listening to it. I found joy in the simple act of journaling, of putting pen to paper and letting my thoughts flow freely instead of watching that little line flicker in a text box while attempting to type up the perfect caption. I finally finished an embroidery project that I kept saying I didn't have time to work on. I baked bread, lots and lots of bread, and yummy desserts for not only Ryan and I to enjoy, but for my parents and neighbors to enjoy as well. And it turns out, I even got to go on our daily family walks. And perhaps most importantly, I learned to embrace the beauty of getting to know myself without the constant distraction of trends, notifications, and updates. Before my detox, I felt anxious with all of the information thrown at me in 60-second or less videos on TikTok, or the latest trends telling me what to buy and how to dress. It felt like a rat race that you could never really keep up with. A constant need to consume rather than be content with what you already have. I started to feel like I wasn't sure if I liked something because I truly did, or if it was just the trend at the moment. Did I like my sense of style, or did I buy that piece of clothing because an Instagram influencer was wearing it, and she looked great in it? During my time offline, I sat with myself and journaled about my style, not only with clothing, but with my home as well. I journaled about what colors I enjoyed wearing, and if I chose comfort over style, and what made me feel good while wearing it. I took the time to figure out the vibe I wanted for my home, and then worked on simple ways to incorporate it, or switch things around with the pieces I already had in my house. I didn't turn to Instagram or TikTok to tell me what my home should look like. Although I did go on Pinterest on my computer to look up inspiration photos, but I went in with a purpose versus mindlessly scrolling. The past month has taught me a lot about slowing down. Not like I really had a choice, but still. As the days turned into weeks, I found myself falling back in love with life. The simple pleasures, the meaningful connections, the moments of pure joy and contentment. With each passing day, the grip of social media loosened its hold on me, allowing me to reclaim my freedom, my creativity, and my sense of self. So here's to 30 days of growth, of self-discovery, of healing, of rediscovering the beauty of life beyond the screen. The mentality shift that I learned during my time off will be a constant practice that I'm really excited for. And while my relationship with my phone and social media has evolved, it's something that I'll definitely need to practice. It's no longer a necessity, but a conscious choice, a tool to be used mindfully and in moderation. If you've been feeling like you need a break or to slow down a bit, you don't have to be as extreme as me and break your foot to slow down. But I hope that this has served as a bit of inspiration that it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to miss out on Instagram updates from an online acquaintance. The beauty of life lies not in the pixels on a screen, but in the moments we share and the memories we create in person.